two special guests, Miles and Robert LePere, the owners and creator of the Boil Boss. And first, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Miller Lite, baby, brand new sponsor. Hope y'all went and saw our video or little commercial for them. And then also, we still have some hats on sale. They're selling like hotcakes, so you better jump on them. Now let's dive into the episode. Welcome back to Sportsman's Paradise Podcast with your two anchors, Kent McGuire and Chase D. Carpenter. What up, Chase?
Dude, I'm feeling good. I think our commercial is gold. I think people will see the vision and our talent.
I
might
agree.
be able to get out there. You might see us national soon.
And the people that I keep comparing on what we said last episode to what the video actually turned out to be can suck it if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But let's jump into our two guests, creators of Boil Boss, Robert and Miles LePere. How y'all doing?
Good dudes. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on. I just want to say, first off, I believe the product has changed crawfishing game, at least for the Carpenter family. It's all in the soak, and they made the soak possible without diluting.
Your dad was a big-time skeptic.
And he was never for it. And he'd pour the ice and then have me sit there and hose it like a jackass.
That's the video I show to everyone now. Is like there's a pile of ice on top of the crawfish boil, and he's also standing around with a hose, and it's just a total cluster.
Yeah,
And then we have to like make a new pot, put new seasoning in.
Yep.
All overflow.
I remember pitching it to him. This is before we even started the business or had a prototype. It was kind of just in our head. And I was shooting the shit with your dad in your backyard. As he was doing that, he had like 20 pounds of ice. And I was like, no, I got my way.
Yeah. And for people who don't know and are listening, it's like a really simple concept. But the challenge when you're boiling seafood is you want to let the crawfish, shrimp, crabs, whatever the seafood is, you want to let it soak right after you're done cooking it. But the really challenging part is that water is still super hot. So if you just turn the flame off and let them soak in 200-degree water, 180-degree water, they're going to slowly cook. And you're going to get overcooked, mushy crawfish. And so that's really where the Boil Boss steps in, is it's a ring that goes around the pot. It's dirt simple, sprays water on the outside of the pot, and rapidly cools it down. Right. So you can actually let crawfish and shrimp soak without them continuing to cook.
And it only takes a few minutes to cool down, right?
Yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah.
3 to 4 minutes, really.
And to break down the product, it's almost like a very nice hula hoop with little drilled holes all around the inside of it, with 3 little clamps you put on the, what do you call the pot?
The edge of the pot, the rim of the pot.
Edge of the pot, hook it up to a hose, and then bang.
Yes, the idea is to follow your normal boiling process. But when you're done and ready to soak, you're attaching the Boil Boss. It's going to spray the outside of the pot. And just the surface area of the aluminum or stainless on those pots, running thin garden hose water, you'd be amazed at how fast it pulls the temp down.
Yeah.
Like 3 to 5 minutes and then soak.
And how do y'all figure out the temperature of the water?
Well, how we did it before, we came out with our paddle. Spoiler alert a little bit, but the paddle's been out for like, how long now?
2 years now.
Yeah, so the paddle that we have has a thermometer that runs down the core of it that reads the temperature. But a lot of people have kitchen thermometers out there. And that's what we were doing before.
And before the paddle, we started getting a lot of emails from guys that had bought the Boil Boss or gotten it as a gift. And one of their I call it a complaint, but one of their points was, hey, this thing like cooled the crawfish down too much and we had cold crawfish. You got to tell us like when to turn this off. And so the paddle is a product of necessity to tell the guys you've reached the right soaking temp, turn it off. They're not going to overcook, but they're also not going to be too cold. And it kind of wrapped together the theme of consistency and getting it right each time and not making it as much of a guessing game.
Yeah. It gives me a blanket of relief because I always never spent overcooking.
Dude, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Like you got
everyone's waiting.
20 pairs of eyeballs just like hovering around the pot.
They're waiting to say, that's not how we do it.
And Chase keeps everybody waiting for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He does.
Wait for
He
my
does.
soak.
And then on the top, so y'all's paddle, typical wooden paddle, but it's got thermometer running down, and on the handle of it, y'all have the gauge. And doesn't it have like a red spot for where you want it to stop?
Yeah, so we color coded it like a cook zone, so it's really easy to know when you're still cooking. And then there's a soak zone, which is between 150 and 160 degrees. The paddle's made out of beech wood, which is a hardwood. We make them in Harahan. mild.
Local.
Yeah.
Support local.
What were you gonna say,
That's
Robert?
good. No, I was gonna.
I know what you're gonna say. That's why.
We're working on optimizing business processes and making things
Gotcha.
easier to do. But Miles has been making each paddle.
By hand?
We got
handmade and hair hand.
Oh, you
Yeah,
beast.
handmade.
Come on. And they are high quality.
yeah, it's been good.
That's good. So I hear y'all have some new inventions cooking up.
They're in the works,
Nice.
working on some patent stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah, we hope to be able to have some things on the site maybe in like a month or so. So keep your eyes peeled on that. I think your dad's probably gonna be one of the first guys I'll drop to his house because I know if I were to verbally pitch it to him, he would shut me down.
Yep, like he did with everything that
Yep.
he uses frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Where is it? Where's the boil boss?"
But after using it, he's gonna become just like on the Bull Boss and the paddle.
Mhm.
Yep.
Some of our biggest supporter.
Yep, definitely.
I agree.
It's gonna
And
be
then
funny.
y'all got to start selling them some mustard as well.
Oh,
To throw in
has he
there.
stopped that?
I didn't know that was a thing.
My dad likes putting
still
mustard
does
in.
it?
He still does it.
We did that boil off.
Yeah, we did boil off and mustard didn't win.
So is that a northern thing? Is that because he's from?
Yes, I
Buffalo?
think it's Buffalo. They put mustard on everything, and he just
Yeah.
wanted to do it. 'Cause I've never heard it before. But he has friends who've won crawfish competition. He claims
Well,
they use mustard.
well, we have to be careful. Like when I'm at, shows and events. We were just in the Sportsman show this past weekend, and every once in a while you'll run into people, I guess from more northern Louisiana, who don't let crawfish or shrimp soak. So they'll pull them straight out of the pot, and then they'll dump them straight into an ice chest, and they will put a whole bunch of mustard on them. They'll put a
Yeah.
whole bunch of seasonings on them. It's so.
Those are
I
disgusting.
can't knock it. I've
Yeah.
never tried it, but I don't think I really want to try it too bad.
I'm going to knock it.
That just makes your lip
Canceled.
burn. Yeah, canceled.
I'll just take their word for it and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Keep trying it our way.
So, what's y'all's secret technique to a boil? What do you do? What do you put in?
Yeah. Break it down for a moron.
I think it's probably what makes a good boil is a few factors stacked together. It's probably not one thing. We've come across a really good seasoning we like, frog bone.
Yeah, that was
Awesome logo.
It's really good.
Yeah, they do have a cool logo. I like frog.
It's not
Bone.
too salty.
good. No. it's
Um,
key.
Yeah, their hot sauce. I just had their hot sauce for like the first time this past weekend. It's like crystal, so it has a really good flavor, but it's also hot. It's like actually spicy.
Did you pour that in the boil?
I put a whole thing of frog bone, and I've been following the recipe that Robert has, I guess, sort of worked on
It's
the past couple
evolved.
years. It's evolved.
But it started, the frog, we've used others. There's all the other stuff's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'd say, after finding a good seasoning, we go overboard on the celery and the onions and the garlic, celery in
Yeah.
particular, like 3 to 4 stalks.
Gotcha.
And then let that cook down. It's like make a stock first before you even think about dropping crawfish in.
Gotcha.
The big picture things that are really important that I didn't appreciate at first was how much water are you putting in the pot?
Yeah.
Like when you go to start off the boil, because if you put in too much, you just run into a lot of problems. One with seasonings, but then two, like when you're putting all the like potatoes, celery, crawfish, everything, it's gonna
Boil out.
yeah.
So Miles is actually working on, we get a lot of requests like, hey, what's your recipe? So he's working on a PDF, several PDFs on our site that put your email in, you'll get them. So that should be live in a couple weeks. But
Yeah, and the idea behind that is I want someone who's like essentially never boiled crawfish before to be able to come to our website, follow a link and download our PDF and then boil crawfish for people as if they'd been boiling it for 15 years.
yeah.
Right? Like make it so clear step by step, like step 1, do
Idiot
this, step
proof.
2, idiot.
But
proof it.
but on the
Yeah.
water point, that's a really big one because people kind of willy nilly just fill the pot up.
Yeah.
It's totally dependent on the diameter of your pot, right?
Right.
And so on this recipe list, there's going to be a chart, and you will take the diameter of your pot. So if you don't know it, you measure it. But the diameter of your pot, it will then tell you, hey, how many inches do you fill up with water, and that will let you know how many gallons you have because it's a volume calculation.
Yes.
And so every time now, once you know the diameter of your pot, I need to fill this up 8 inches. And after a few boils, it'll like etch a little fill line.
And that's dependent on the amount of crawfish, right?
Not really.
Okay.
Like it's dependent on the size pot. If you're using a 100-quart pot, it doesn't matter if I'm boiling 25 pounds or 35 pounds. My recipe on the seasoning side is the same now.
okay.
Potatoes and corn and like things that people eat, that differs based on the amount of people you got. but it's really dependent on the water, which is dictated by the pot. But yeah, I'd say stock is like the first thing.
Mhm. How long do you get to let that cook?
25, 30 minutes until like the garlic is mushy, basically.
Gotcha.
Hard garlic is the worst.
Yes.
Yep.
And hard corn
Yep.
Yep.
and hard potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah. From there, you start putting in things that have the longest cook time. So potatoes, we do sweet potatoes. We'll cut those into chunks to like make them cook faster, get more seasoning.
Yeah, I like that.
And then crawfish,
Nice.
3 to 5 minutes,
Yeah.
like quick.
Gotcha.
I
Until
like
they start rolling. What about mushrooms?
Mushrooms, gotta
Yes.
load them in there.
Yeah. I don't think you can really overcook mushrooms. People might disagree with me. I don't know.
agree.
I don't think so. I never have. And then I put the corn in at the end to help soak.
I think it depends if you're using
Yeah.
raw or frozen.
Gotcha.
If we're
Yeah.
If it's just
using
frozen, you can put it at the end.
well, if using the boil boss though, I would recommend people put it in with the crawfish, because if you cut your burner and you put the boil boss on and then you put your corn in, it's going to drop the temperature. Like the temperature is already dropping and the corn's already cooked. You just need it hot enough to warm it up.
Yeah.
So you do run the risk a little bit of cold corn if you're putting it in with the boil boss.
Gotcha.
But you put it in too early, you got mushy corn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Corn's
that.
tough.
It's a little bit of a judgment thing.
Corn is tough.
Oh, and another quick thing about the Boil Boss. My brother just got one for Christmas. We got him one for his for Christmas present. And he was wondering, I have a smaller pot. Can it fit on it? And the answer is yes, it can fit on all size pots pretty much, huh?
Yeah, so we have 3 sizes. We just recently launched the small boil boss because we had a lot of requests on like 30 quart pots. So 60 quarts and below, the small boil boss is for. It'll adjust to fit those. From 60 quarts to 120 is what we call the standard size. And then 120 and above, large.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
boy
adjustable.
Yeah, well, that's the awesome part about the brackets is they pivot and they'll naturally take shape. Well, they'll naturally fit to your pot.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but a lot of people, the reason we came out the small was because people were doing, like, if you're going to do a shrimp boil, right, you're not going to necessarily use 100, maybe you will, but a lot of people are boiling shrimp in like 30, 40 quart pots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think.
And or crabs.
Yeah.
Works for all things
Yeah.
that you boil.
One other tip we left out that's sort of also kind of full circle with the boil boss is that when we're cooking at the end of the boil, we actually save a bowl of lemon juice and orange juice
Okay.
that we pour in
That's
right
like
at the
the
end.
last point.
It's
yeah.
like the very last point, like right as you're turning your boil boss on, we dump it in. And the idea is when the boil boss starts spraying, that's when the crawfish really starts soaking up the juice.
Yeah.
And we love like citrus flavor. So I guess it's a
Yeah.
little bit like personal preference, but pour it in at the end and it like soaks up that lemon and orange. It's really good.
What's been on our list is to get like a juicer.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
squeezing them by hand. It's tedious, but we need to get like
Yeah.
a little electric juicer to have on the side.
Probably use half of them too. Not
Yeah.
as many.
I heard that the citrus helps deconnect the meat from the shell.
Dude,
Do you know if that's
this
true?
is, you hear about people like butter makes them easier. I think what makes them easier to peel is just don't overcook
Yeah.
fucking crawfish.
Yes. Okay.
Just cook them right.
Look, I'm right.
I think that's just like people who have, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no
I won't get
idea.
into
I
it.
don't know if it's true or not.
Guy's tail.
And do y'all wash crawfish?
God.
Look, there's so many points. I'm like missing everything. Yeah.
That's
It's like,
okay.
that's like
It's
the
like-
number one.
Yeah,
I'd say the number one way to fuck up a crawfish boil
agree.
is to not clean them enough.
I agree. I like to clean them for excessively long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty crawfish is nasty.
It's till the water runs.
What was
clean.
that awesome pot
Crawfish washer.
crawfish washer? That
Yeah.
thing was
Yeah.
sweet.
They've got a great
It's a
product.
guy out of Texas we've become friends with who invented that. He
Is
sells
it-
them at Buc-ee's and other places. Definitely worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else is it used for?
I think he invented it for duck breasts and
Okay.
fish fillets. So, you know, when you're
the
breasting out
feathers
ducks or
off.
doves, yeah, it's covered in feathers.
Yeah.
You dump them in there and
So,
they
so
separate.
it's the same one. He doesn't like.
He makes a small one,
Okay.
but then he started selling the big one for like deer quarters and hog quarters. And
Yeah,
Things
it's
like that.
brilliant.
yeah,
That's smart.
but it's definitely worth it. You plug it, you hook it up, you dump your crawfish in, and then you just turn the hose on and you keep prepping your other stuff while your crawfish are washing.
Yeah.
Previous way we were doing it is putting them in
Nice.
ice chest, filling it up. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible.
it's terrible.
I used
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, no bueno.
Have y'all seen people pour salt on them
Yeah.
in the beginning?
They claim
Yeah.
to throw up.
I think it kills them.
Shit.
I think it's
Kills
I think
them.
it's a myth. Like
Myth?
yeah, that's what I've heard, but the idea is it's supposed to like help purge them.
Like all these things
Yeah.
are like contentious fighting words.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own way.
Can we edit that part out?
Yes. No.
I think it just
Oh,
kills,
yeah,
I think,
no, we
I think it
can't.
kills them.
Kills them.
Yeah.
Kills
I mean,
them.
They're not meant to live in salt water.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Mud. What if you
Mud.
poured more mud in it while you were keeping them alive?
I'll let you try it.
Well,
Make 'em grindy as shit.
okay, so you want to get into some trips? Because y'all went on an awesome camping trip and
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that.
Steep learning curve.
Yeah, where'd y'all go?
It went better than I expected it to go, though. I will say that.
I did
It
a good
was-
job prepping.
Yeah.
So we didn't do any duck hunting this year, except for
Okay.
this one trip out of Venice. We went and camped out at the Pasalutra WMA.
Okay.
It was my brother and I took Watson with us,
Yeah.
and
Heard
and Harrison Shell
Uh-huh.
came tagged along.
He's classic.
Yeah. And Happy Davis.
Yeah.
And Miles and I and Harrison, we left Cypress Cove maybe like 3 p.m.
Uh-huh.
on Friday afternoon.
Take the Boil Boss boat?
Yeah, we had the Twin V down there.
Nice.
Nice. Loaded it with the P-Row and
Uh-huh.
all of our camping shit,
Yeah.
and headed south. Got to one of the Loomis campsites.
Uh-huh.
Maybe like 4:00 set up.
Mhm.
See, we had warned Watson and Happy. I don't think they'd ever hunted that event before. They're from,
I don't think
they're
so.
up north guys. They're used to timber,
Yeah.
not marsh.
And it's a
And
different game.
yeah, and I did not want to be running the river at nighttime for obvious reasons. I said just get to the marina before it gets dark. Of course, they roll up like 5:45.
Oh, shit.
So that's why we decided to get down to the campsite early, get good breadcrumbs getting down there because I hadn't
Yeah.
run east in a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Set up camp. Those campsites are clean.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
We pulled up and the dock was like, it
Brand
looked like
new.
it was brand new. The campsite was pretty much empty. So we had tons of room. There was like one other group there.
Yeah.
We set up a 10-person camp. They had tables set up there, like picnic tables. It
Yep.
was awesome.
Then we headed back north, picked them up at the marina. Happy brought his mud boat, so we towed that back down.
Nice.
Smooth sailing. Had the radar. Had clean. Didn't see a lot of debris, so like felt pretty good. Yeah, and so the duck hunting was not the best for us because I think there's a level of like a learning curve of learning new places, and
Yeah.
Definitely.
we had only scouted it remotely using Onyx and some Google Maps, and
Yeah.
got some intel from some people, but
We
Really
also
don't
like
know.
couldn't go back into the ponds as much as we wanted to.
Water went out.
No, it wasn't so much
had
the water
carburetor
went out.
problems
Yeah,
in the mud boat.
Yeah.
so it wouldn't get on step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
that
think
makes
we
it
would
a
have done a lot
bitch.
better if we could have gotten further up into some of the ponds where we were going.
Well, honestly, Chase, it had me thinking about
we also
bring
mi-
the long tail with you
Yes,
guys
yeah.
next year because we can get into all that. Not trying to go fast, but you can get into all that thick stuff.
You don't have to go that far, right? From the campsite?
No.
No,
it's better than hiking.
That was the best part about camping out there. The camping was actually pretty easy too, but the best part was being able to like wake up and be 5 minutes
Yeah.
from the ponds.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like you wake up to the sound of mud motors running and you just hop in and go. It's
That's
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, we saw a decent bit of birds, not a ton.
We
but it was
we
warm
missed some opportunities though. We had like one really
always.
I know, but we had like one
That's
really big
okay.
opportunity when we were like setting up the blind. Remember that the
Yeah.
first morning?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Came in. We were
Yeah, they
setting
came
up.
up
Oh,
right
dude.
when we were
Yeah.
setting
At least you didn't shoot and miss them. This year I had a group gray ducks come in, missed every one of them. It was brutal. I mean, they decoyed perfectly.
Did y'all do a lot of duck hunting this year?
I didn't
No.
do much. I had 2 awful days. We didn't see any birds.
I had 2 bad days and 1 real good day.
Now that I've always wanted to do that trip we did for a while, but it was always daunting to me, you know?
I've always wanted to do that. Even if it's not duck hunting, just go down there, camp, and then go fish. So you
Yeah.
don't have to run all the way out there.
Uh-huh.
And camping's just so much fun.
Yeah.
It was
I
cool.
love
That was the
camping.
best part about it.
Well,
Yeah.
the fact that we had the Twin V2, we weren't really limited. We overpacked on like
Yeah,
the camping
that's
food shit.
awesome.
We brought the burner. My mom cooked us a gumbo actually, so we brought that already done.
Awesome.
That's
Um,
nice.
Shit ton of
Yeah,
breakfast food.
we only had one like sketchy night. It was like the last night we were sleeping there, and our tent like was starting to fail.
We had a
on us
front
little
come
bit.
through, which we were hoping was going to come a day earlier. But dude, you're forgetting about the sketchiest part was we're leaving
Oh,
the
yeah.
pond
Oh,
the
yeah.
last day, and I noticed Happy's bilge is on. I didn't think much of it, but I just watched it for a few seconds and it stayed on. And and I watched it for like a minute. And a mud boat and a bilge pump should not be on, I don't think, for a minute.
Yeah.
No.
And it was
And
pumping
water's just pouring out.
a lot. So I asked Happy, I'm like, dude, what's the deal with your bilge? Like, is this typical?
Yeah.
And he put his hand down the bilge and felt that there was not a plug in the boat.
Oh, it's the
God.
worst.
And remember, this boat's too heavy. We got 4 or 5 people in it.
Yeah.
We got all the gear.
Big dudes too.
It's got carburetor problems, so we can't go fast. We're 10 minutes of a 5 mile an hour putt from the dock.
Oh my God.
And this boat is sinking.
Oh God. And those mud boats fill up so fast.
Yeah. It was sketch.
Oh.
We came in hot, we like slid it into the marsh, and then we just started looking for shit to shove in there.
Yeah.
Oh, the plug wasn't even there.
It
It
was
was just
gone.
no plug.
I don't know how
I don't know what happened with that plug.
I feel like it was installed from the outside, which
I don't
otherwise
like
it'd be
those.
in the boat. But
Yeah.
we ultimately settled on a trash bag as the fix,
Just shove it in there.
which
Not a
worked pretty
bad-
good.
yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it plugged, and then
Got the boat
we
all
just
the way
hurried
back.
up to get it behind the Twin V and get hauling, so we could get it on plane,
Yeah. Jesus.
and we made it back.
Oh, that
Something had to
sucks.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the
Yeah.
other thing we forgot was when we realized that the plug was out, we had the front mud pole through, and we were in such a frantic rush to get out of there. Nobody remembered to pull the mud pole out of the mud, and it was sticking in maybe like 5 feet, holding us in place.
Yeah.
And when Happy started up, he just took off forward. Well, when we get to the dock, we realized that the pole was bent like 90 degrees and it had been dragging in the mud the entire way back.
Oh shit.
We ended up having to I ended up breaking it off.
But all things considered, it was a pretty smooth
Yeah.
operation relative to what our typical
Yeah.
Yeah,
flow is
Oh.
like.
could be.
know,
How
it's
many
like all
days
the
were you
gear.
out there?
It's 2 nights.
Okay.
Yeah, Friday night, all Saturday. Then we got back to the dock for maybe 2:00 on Sunday.
Gotcha.
It's
Did
a good
Rivers go with
weekend.
you?
No,
Ah, shit.
too much.
Too much. You
Yeah.
think he'll bring him next time?
Yeah, he needs better manners though.
He's a good hunting dog, though. He has the nose.
It's crazy how natural it is in his
Yeah.
labs.
It really is. And they can learn how to find deer really fast as well. which
Yeah,
That's
is
the
that's
only
right.
training. I didn't do any duck hunting training with Rivers other than just like tossing shit in the water.
Yeah.
But I did do some deer track where I keep hind legs and keep pieces of liver and hide and drag them a little bit and teach him how to use his nose.
Uh-huh.
And that's cool to watch.
Yeah,
That is
it is. That's
Luckily,
how,
I haven't had to use him for it though.
That's how
Nice.
I got my first doe this year, and it ran in the woods, and it was nighttime, and our friend's dog, he like just started training it, and he was like, "Go get him!" And he just started smelling and ran into the woods and found it in like
So
3
cool.
minutes. We were like, "Holy shit, let's go!"
How amped were you on the deer?
I was shaking. I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
It's a drug.
It
for
really
sure.
is. I didn't realize how amped I would be. I was like, I like running down the stairs. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. I better have hit it.
I think I got Miles hooked on it this year
You got a good one
on the
this year?
deer.
Yeah, well, this was my first year really deer hunting, I'd say. I didn't get a deer. I shot a pig with my crossbow.
Nice.
But
That's fun.
Well, Miles and I both were like, we don't want to pick up a rifle at the beginning of the season. We want to try and stick one.
Yeah.
Which is way more fun.
It's
I
fun.
can imagine.
yeah, but I spent like 2 weeks actually shooting with my compound bow, and I was like, you know what?
Not confident enough.
No, not nearly confident enough
Yeah.
to shoot at an animal with it. And so I went with the crossbow for the whole season and sat up. And it was honestly really cool because I had a lot of yearlings and spikes come out and just hang out and eat around me. So I got
That
to
is
watch
fun.
them for like
Yeah.
hours on end and just see how they were behaving, which was super cool. And then Robert gave me shit, and so did our family friend, because one night a pack of pigs, I heard them I heard them
Rustling.
coming, and they were
Yeah.
rustling through the forest. Like it sounded like a sea.
Yeah.
And so I pull out my phone naturally, and I'm just like taking a video of them.
You've been used to those spikes hanging around.
Exactly. I was used to the deer just like hanging around underneath me for like 45 minutes to an hour. So I was like, all right, these pigs are going to come out. I'm going to get some awesome footage of them
Yeah.
like hanging out. And then I'm going to put my phone away and shoot one.
Yeah.
And they came out, they hung out for like 30 seconds. And then they immediately, I think they picked up on my scent. I don't think they saw me, but they immediately just like took off and ran out of there.
Yeah,
And
Miles
all I
texted
was
me
left with was this video. And so they were like, "Oh, look, Nature Boy." You know.
well, Miles sends me the video. I'm like, you didn't want to shoot one?
So okay, and so then the story gets completed. I go back the next day, sit in the same spot, the same time. Pig comes out, and I got one.
Oh,
So,
let's go.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
cool.
big time.
But that'll get you hooked because these are bow setups, so
Yeah.
like 20 yards.
Yeah,
Like,
real close.
yeah.
How high up are y'all?
I set my bow stands. We're like 25 feet,
Yeah.
Interesting.
and I just do that out of paranoia for scent. I
Yeah.
feel like the higher you are on some of these corridors wrong where they're coming out, I have a little bit of an advantage being high because by the time the scent drifts down with a good wind, you're
gone.
you're kind of in the
Gotcha.
clear.
And they can, if you're low, they can sometimes see or hear you pull back if you're
Yeah.
close. That's
Except-
what one of my buddy's problems is.
It's real out of the eyesight. They're looking straight down, right? Not up. So
What's that?
the eyesight, right? You want to be
Yeah, I don't think they're looking up naturally. I mean, if they hear it, they will for sure.
yeah.
But it was frustrating on the whole for the majority of the season with the bow. I missed like an old deer, nothing crazy like from a trophy standpoint, but in our area, there's a lot of pressure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So like a 4.5-year-old deer is starting to be,
Pretty nice. But you got a good one.
yeah.
Huh?
That was when I got so frustrated. Rut was in and I ditched the bow. It was actually not a planned hunt.
Uh-huh.
I was just on a last minute went, invited a date with me.
Oh yes.
It was actually a third date.
Okay. So
All right.
third date.
And I just thought we were going to see birds and squirrels.
Yeah.
And we saw
Part of me was
yeah.
happy. Part of me was like, I was jealous. I was like, he goes and he sits in the stand that we've like come to the conclusion we won't see them here. You know, and
I was being loud as shit. We were talking the whole hunt,
yeah.
like which I
That
broke
is
every
good.
rule
Yeah.
in my book for getting out there. I wasn't stealthy. I didn't even wash my wear clothes. I'd washed and scent free detergent,
yeah.
making all sorts of noise.
But I guess it
Yeah.
kind of just goes to show you that, well, one, during the rut,
It was rut,
like
yeah.
behavior changes, but then two, just being out there is better, like
Yeah.
better than overthinking the strategy and trying to like pick the perfect place and time. Like get out there and
I agree.
sit in the stand.
Yeah.
You did a good job of that this year. You were out there a bunch.
Yeah, I got like maybe 20 hunts or so.
That's
Which is
nice.
a decent bit. But yeah, we
Yeah.
were sitting and we're in one of these stands that has two. It's a tripod and it's maybe 15 feet off the ground, and it's got two chairs on a swivel that face reverse directions. So like I'm facing this way, and
you're in
she'd
the
be
middle of
facing
the
that
field.
way. Yeah, and I'm looking out in the field, but the wind is blowing into the field. So like
Yeah.
I don't think anything's coming from that way. And she's looking the other way, and she tapped me on the shoulder and saw like a deer, and I looked, and all I saw was just tall antlers. I didn't know what deer it was, but I just knew we had already just talked. We were like, okay, if a doe comes, like, are you okay if a doe comes out that we shoot it? And
Yeah.
so we were gonna shoot
Anything.
pretty much anything.
Yeah,
anything
definitely.
legal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was on the move. You could tell it was rut. This deer was the deer we had on camera early in the season, but it lost like 30 pounds and was just roaming, and it stopped maybe 40, 50 yards and dropped it. It was fun.
That
That's
is
awesome.
fun.
And then
Adrenaline was
yeah,
pumping.
yeah, but then you have to deal with the deer.
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
so
So
true.
like adrenaline pumping, high fives, go out, get your hands on the deer. So fun, right? And now, I've got, which I love cleaning it, but you got to remember, like, this person has never been hunting before. It's supposed to be,
And it's gruesome.
supposed to be a date.
ripping its hide off of it.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I wanted to mount this deer, so that added like another 30 minutes of being careful when you cape it out,
Yeah.
that it didn't hurt.
What
hurt
do
the
you
hide.
do? You leave it like you cut the hide till it's like shoulders high on a
Yeah,
human?
you think about looking at a mount on the wall and where that hide cuts off.
Yeah.
You just don't want to nick any of that stuff beyond that. So you're pulling it off like a sock almost, I guess.
Yeah.
But normally I'd be cutting, and just trying to get out the way.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome.
We need to go. So Robert brought his deer to Miller's Taxidermy.
Oh, that dude's awesome.
Yeah,
Y'all got to do.
I think his
go
name's Sonny, right?
check that out.
Where is he?
Sonny. He's
He's in Poplarville.
Crossroads technically.
Okay.
But right outside of Bogalusa, like 15 minutes from Bogalusa. This guy he's world class, like really good and a character.
I love characters.
Yeah, he's got like I haven't been to his place, but apparently he has like a showroom of all of his mounts that are pretty incredible.
He's
If you
got
search
like
up
a
pictures online. It's
450-pound pig that he mounted with like a 5-foot rattlesnake in its mouth.
Full body.
Oh yeah,
Badass.
it's
That is
wild.
badass.
It's wild.
I want to
Need
get
to
an
check that
awesome
out.
fox squirrel and mount that thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to kill one of those.
I do.
They have one baby a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
know
know.
where
Do you
one
still
is?
want to kill one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's the mama at?
They're pretty cool.
Well, I'll just
Yeah.
kill a father. Mom can still do it.
Yes.
You
She's
gotta
fucking around anyway, I bet. So we're good.
and improve your squirrel identification skills.
I do. When we went deer hunting, we went to one of my buddy's farms, and one day I just walked around the whole thing looking for a squirrel. I didn't see one.
Have you been able to distinguish a squirrel walking on leaves versus a deer yet?
No, probably not.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I just know that whenever I think of deer, like you hear shit behind you and in the woods, and it's like usually a fucking squirrel.
Yeah, little bastards. Little bastards. And then
I think we're gonna get on our boat training though for next season, like ahead of time. Put in the work. I think that's where a lot of the success in the season, the deer season, come from summertime, and honestly now too, getting in there and like all those trails that we had assumed were coming from bedding areas during season, going back and visiting those and following some of them up now that's postseason.
Yeah, but doing it sooner
They're
than
doing
later.
it now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we can mark them for next year if we need to cut any little small
Keep
trails.
pressure
past
low
those
going
stands.
into the season too, though.
Yeah,
Keep some corn in some areas for squirrels and stuff like that.
and get you guys out there next year.
Yes.
I'm
Well, we
in.
could go up and
There's another week of archery.
Archery
We got a crossbow.
and some hogs.
A lot
I
of
got an
hogs.
old one. I don't think it works, which sucks.
That's what we were supposed to do. Mark wanted me to go up and set our pig traps. And I got some spy point cameras this past season. We were going to bait the pig traps and then put the spy point over them. That way, because checking, you don't know if you catch, if you don't have a camera or monitor, you don't know if you got pigs in it. And
Yeah.
driving an hour and 15 minutes to check is
Bullshit.
kind of tough. You know, if you catch one, you don't get check it. That's not cool either.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, one of my buddies, they just got one of the traps that twist and fall down. It's
I
awesome.
haven't seen this.
And they got footage of it. Oh, they're sweet. They're like, I don't know where my phone is, but they're awesome.
Parker Favreau showed me a trap they got, and what it is you take like stakes for a fence and you put them in maybe like a 20-foot diameter, and then there's this net. It's like a mesh, and you put it up, and for maybe like the first week, you put a bunch of corn in the middle of the net, and you tie the net to where it's maybe the bottom of it is like 2 feet off the ground, and the idea is you let the pigs come in and go out freely feeding. After about a week, when they're really comfortable, you put the net on the ground, and what they do is they're root up, like so they're walking with their snout on the ground, and they pick the net up and walk underneath it,
And bang.
and they don't even know. And so then when they try to get out, the net's there, they can't get out. So it just lets all, and so you catch like 15 and 20 and 30 at a time.
wait.
Just
So
like
how does it allow? Like, how is it designed to where they can like dig their way in, but they can't dig their way out?
So the net like laps to where the edge is maybe 2 or 3 feet inside the circle. So like by the time they try to get out of
Oh, I
it,
gotcha.
they're standing on the edge.
I got you.
If that makes sense.
No, I
Yeah.
think it does.
I
Yeah.
forget the name of the thing.
They're awesome. I've seen a video of
Pretty
them.
cool.
They're incredible.
I think
Um,
almost like a necessity if you want to
Well,
keep deer.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's also what we were talking about is like, if you want to actually control the pig population, like going out one weekend and like trying to think you're going to make a dent in it is like
No,
Yeah.
just by hunting, you got to set up traps.
Yeah, you
we need
do.
to do that.
Another buddy, they brought this guy up there who has like night vision scopes or like heat scopes for night. And one night he shot like 36 of them out of one stand. He
Oh, never mind then.
He just
Okay.
kept drilling them with an AR. It was awesome. And he
He's
has
the biggest
footage of
shot.
it. He has like the some
Records it.
yeah, and he has some marker ammo. And you can just see like nothing in a marker, just drill one. And then it was sweet.
That's
I
awesome.
guess you got to do that in a place with open enough land. Because where we're at, after the first shot, they're
They're
in
gone.
like a pine thicket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not getting a
shit.
second shot on one.
It's tough.
Really tough.
Really tough.
He's got like 5 big fields
Yeah.
and then woods all around him.
Room for error, especially with the AR. You just keep following them with the tracer. Probably fucks those things up.
It was awesome. Definitely fucks those things up. But that was awesome. And then what else? What else?
Fishing. Y'all got any deep sea plans coming up?
Blake's in town or
Yes.
till the 18th. And I was looking at the forecast last night.
How is it?
It's windy, but it might clear up the end of next week. Point being, boats in Venice.
Boat's already down there.
It's ready to go.
Go get some tuna.
Got all the maintenance done. Y'all haven't been on it since before I did all the work to it.
Yes,
No, I haven't.
you lowered the seat from that bump.
Ken, we
Looks
have to
awesome.
talk
Yeah.
about when I almost killed you on the boat.
Oh yeah, with the mangrove snapper.
No, there's
You
got to
at
be
the
you
front?
got to tell the captain before like you're going to stand on the transom.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened? I don't know if I remember.
You don't remember this? All right.
All
right. I was running the boat. Y'all were all fishing off the back. I think you were fishing off the back. You might have been going to the
No, he's
bathroom.
peeing.
You were peeing.
Okay.
And the
We're up current,
waves were
holding
really
position.
starting to throw me into the
Oh.
rig.
Yeah.
And so kind of without hesitation, I put it in gear.
Yeah.
And you were pretty close to really close to falling in the water and getting chopped up. That was
No.
very scary.
I would have caught a fish and then just swam back up.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
fell in earlier, y'all.
No, we're all
Decided to
good.
grab one.
Oh,
Yeah, we should get something planned.
I'm
That'd be
in.
awesome.
I want to do a trip so bad. And then I'm just happy I didn't get seasick that time with y'all.
Oh, I forget.
This time I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
Dramamine.
Kent's a liability.
Yeah, I am. I am a liability. The floating liability.
Dude, the fact that he wants to go back on an offshore boat after that
He has the
just
heart.
shows how much he loves it.
Well, it's
Yeah.
happened to me like 5
Dude,
times.
that's miserable.
It's
Miserable.
miserable.
It's miserable.
It is.
It's the worst.
But that was the worst time. I was like as white as that mouse. It was great. I was like,
yeah,
holy
but
shit.
you weren't. We had a pretty calm day. We had a couple squalls.
That was a
Yeah.
perfect day.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, y'all are making fun of me for how slow I was going on the outside. I was trying to be cheap on the fuel.
Yes.
We can
And it was
burn
like
more
one
if
of
you
the
want.
first and it was one of like the first trips deep sea with it, huh? Or like not fully
yeah.
deep, but pretty deep.
Yep.
You went enough for Cobia.
Yeah.
But I got
Yeah.
a bunch. I maybe got
That
10.
was awesome. I
Yeah,
forgot we
who
got that
August caught that? I think maybe.
Yeah,
That's
wasn't
my
any of
favorite
us.
though. Is catching all those mangroves out there.
Yeah,
I
it's so
agree.
much fun pulling up.
Yeah.
Gotta use light tackle. We made a mistake and used too heavy of rods.
No doubt.
One
Yeah.
person in light tackle. is
Spinners.
hellish. Yeah, spinners.
Yeah, that'll be
Maybe a
fun.
bait caster.
Yeah, that'll be fun as hell.
Yeah.
Yank some of the little ones out there.
Try
And
that.
snapper fishing so fun.
Yep.
Just red snapper, just dropping them down, then just feel them, and just yank them up.
Do y'all have what do y'all have on the schedule? Y'all have any trips planned?
Nothing.
No,
really.
we're thinking about doing something soon though.
a seaplane trip.
Yeah, we want to do a
Nice.
seaplane trip out to
Yeah.
the islands.
We want to
That's
go
pretty sweet.
deep. I want to go catch some dolphins.
Yeah,
It's
I've
a
never
good trip.
caught one.
You
Yeah,
gotta wait
they're
for the
fun.
water to warm up a little bit.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a while for that.
Every time I've been offshore, I've always wanted to catch one. And I'm like, oh, let's catch some dolphin. And the guy's like, fuck off. We're not catching those. And I'm like, all right, fine.
Summertime, August, find a good rip.
And we'll just catch them.
Yeah.
Those huge ones are awesome. Colin caught that monster last year.
That is fun.
So we got the boat fixed up to where now we can actually fit it in one of those storage units. Was that the trip where
we wore it in the storage.
We wanted to put it and we ended up putting it like in the parking.
It was in the between two storage
Yeah.
units. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got that. It's down there in the same storage yard right now.
But inside.
Not yet. They just had a spot open up. I
Oh,
guess it's been
beautiful.
busy. They've had a backlog.
Good for them.
Yep.
Now we're in it though.
Fish.
Now we're in it. How's your little whaler doing?
It's doing. It's
Do y'all know why? Like what prompted the renovation?
No.
I mean, it wasn't me who did it.
wait, what are you talking about?
So the boat
No, I know what you're talking
sat in at our camping kiln
Uh-huh.
for a few years.
Was a 16-foot whaler?
Yeah.
What prompted the renovation of the boat was the fact that we had it sitting in kiln in the bushes, like in a little overgrown like a overgrown road. You wouldn't even know it was there. And so I took a couple buddies out there to shoot one day, and we brought like every gun we had, and we just unloaded, not knowing the boat was behind our target. And so a couple
Peacemaker and vigilante style.
yeah, like a year later we go back and there's like probably
Well, no, I went to
six
go start the boat eventually because we wanted to get it working, and you smell gasoline, and you start looking around. Yeah,
We went to start the boat. You
yeah,
didn't
we
see
wanted
the holes.
we wanted to like pull it out, and like the thing about it sitting there is like, let's get the carburetor clean. Let's start figuring out how we can get the thing cranked up. And you start smelling like old varnished fuel. And then you look at the old aluminum tank, you see a hole in it. It's like a bullet hole. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? And then you look along the side, the port side of the boat, and it's like 6, 8,
Yeah.
10 bullet holes.
Yeah, we put a lot of bullet holes through it. I think
yeah.
you might have been responsible for a couple too.
I don't know.
But we got them patched up now, and the boat is, I'd say, like 85 to 90% done on the restoration. But it's kind of embarrassing because I've been working on this boat. I have a picture of me taking it apart when I first started, senior year of
2016.
high school.
Miles
I
will
think
put
2017,
2 screws
But
in
who's counting?
and then go home.
Hey,
Hey,
it's a
those-
slow process.
Hey man, those 2 screws, they were
you needed them.
you had to have
had
them.
to have
That's awesome.
That thing's sweet.
No, but that's going to be fun because I mean, Robert's really the one that got into the offshore fishing and started taking me on those trips. But we have never done a lot of inshore fishing.
Mhm.
I mean, I know like we've
No,
been
y'all-
inshore, but
Y'all are way more versed on the
But-
tactics.
but that's going to be
yeah.
awesome because I feel like the one benefit of inshore fishing is like the convenience of it
Yes.
as opposed to offshore. I think offshore is more exhilarating and the challenge of it and just the entire process
It's
is
the
like,
big leagues.
yeah, it's probably like more rewarding and just fun when you're out there. But getting out there is a trip. Like for us to plan an offshore trip, we have to
Yeah.
be planning it now, and
Yes.
we got
Particularly because we don't sleep down. We don't have a place to sleep down in Venice. So
I wake up
typical
early.
thing when y'all came is like we'll leave New Orleans at like 2:33,
It's a whole weekend.
drive down, you launch the boat,
yeah.
fill
It's
it up with
expensive.
fuel.
It's an
all
expensive trip, and
Yeah.
it's a big deal to do an offshore trip.
And I feel like I'm a guide a lot of times, like meaning not that I know how to catch fish, but that I'm like tying lots of, depending on who you bring, you're like
Yeah.
tying lots of hooks. and
Robert
fixing
takes a lot
shit.
of people for their first trip.
Yeah.
That's a
I like
mistake.
stopped doing that kind of. I just-
But early on, you
I'm just
want
like, yeah, you're
you
not
want people
coming.
you want people to come, right?
Yeah.
In the early days.
And you want to
Yes.
like show people a good time. Like that's fun. When you
Mhm.
take someone that's like hasn't like experienced that and you let them experience like hooking a fish, that's cool.
Do y'all ever have when you bring people early on? Probably doesn't happen now, but have like the anxiety of getting them on.
Oh no, it
fish?
still happens. I
Still-
hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely still happens.
Robert's the biggest worrier ever. He's
Oh,
like,
I'm saying.
Well, I think there's a benefit because it kind of pushes you to do good
That's true.
planning and
Yeah.
like get some intel and
It does. One story
Try to-
always cracks me up. Walker is not a big fisherman, but he'll like going out there. And I feel like every time I've brought him out there, it's like 50 degrees and blowing. It's like we
Yeah.
don't catch shit. And he's like, "Ken, how do you do this? This shit sucks." And I'm like, well, you got to come on a good day. Every time I invite you on a good day, you can never make it. So
Yep.
got to come. But last year he went to the Redfish Jubilee, and I think it was like the record low of the year or something. It was like 30 degrees or something. It was like ridiculous. And we didn't catch one redfish. And I was like, dude, we're going to crush them. Like, this is going to be awesome. Didn't catch one. And my rod tips were literally frozen. Like at one point, like you couldn't
Dude.
reel in because like the water on it just froze it together. And I was like, holy shit, this is retarded.
won't catch me out there.
Yeah. So we got out of there.
but I mean, I feel like it's really cool because since y'all started this podcast, like y'all have really done a lot.
We've been out there
fishing.
more.
Mhm.
We've tried a lot of stupid things.
Lot of
Push
If
stupid
it.
you were to
things.
rate like at a scale 1 to 10, where 1 being newbie, 10 being pro, when you started fishing versus like where you are today, what would you
Started-
think?
So there's a lot I don't know. So
100
3.
times. I'm 100 times better with just boats and
I would
fishing.
say
and
100
everything.
times, but I still think I have so much more out there.
That's an interesting point. Is the
Yeah.
boat the
Yeah, because I never
mechanical
owned a
side.
boat. Parents weren't fishermen.
Yeah.
Grandfather was, but when I got the boat, he had dementia, so he was no help. And I was just like trying to like fix. Like luckily Richmond kind of knows some stuff, but he never had a boat, so we would just like beat shit with hammers. But now I can kind of figure out like, although my boat's in the shop right now, hopefully getting it back this week, and then we're
Yes.
back on the wall.
What are they doing to it?
So it had to be something with the fuel. Like when I would get to full speed, it would start like bogging out and be like
Yeah,
brr, brr, brr.
carburetor.
And it was so weird. So I cleaned my carbs, got new fuel, changed a couple things on the fuel line. Some parts I couldn't find, so those did not get changed. So that could have been the problem. But I just couldn't figure it out. So then it sat in our backyard for about 2 months, and I was like, I'm just bringing it in. Fuck it.
Yeah. When it gets to those fuel related problems on those 2-strokes and older carbureted engines, gets tricky.
You're gonna figure it out.
Vacuum. Yeah.
I'm praying it's not broken because they say like on those old engines, once the fuel shits out, you're just done for. So hopefully that isn't the issue. That's why I was kind of didn't bring it in for a while, because I was like, once I bring it in, it could just be
That could be it.
Yeah, they could tell me he's dead. She's dead.
You're in denial.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
But hopefully, I'm probably gonna call him tomorrow and see what's up with that.
Unless something's cracked though, like catastrophic, I feel
should
like there's
be all right.
enough of these old engines out there to be able to salvage, maybe some scavenge
Something.
some parts, swap
Yeah.
some other things on.
I agree.
I don't know.
So I'm amped to get back out there because it's been like 3 months.
It has.
It's
I
been
miss
way
the
too
Storm
long.
Chaser.
So after that question, right now I'm at I have no idea where to go in the marsh. Like someone called me the other day, like, oh, like you gotten any reports? What's a good place? I was like, dude, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know where to begin.
It's a big part of it.
yeah,
Staying connected.
it really is. And like at one point we were going out, or if Chase couldn't go, I was just going by myself, and the trout were thick in the marsh. And I went like 4 days in a row, and I was like, geez, I finally figured it out. Got like limits every day. And I was like, this is, fuck yeah. I got these bad boys dialed. And then something came up, didn't go. And then trout left, and then boat broke. And I was like, all right, fuck. Now I'm back to square one. But
Changes yearly.
yeah,
Shit goes on out there.
but I'm excited for it to get going again.
Me too.
But I haven't really seen many fishing reports like
neither.
on Facebook or Instagram, really.
You just kind of go through them every week, like your top 3.
Yeah.
Just poke around.
LA Troutman's a great Facebook page to go in.
Just haven't gotten the trout fever.
Yeah.
It's fun on big days.
But they do
yeah, I
redfish
agree.
also. They do both. But yeah, when you can catch like 50 of them and they're all hammers,
All
it's
good
like,
size.
let's go.
Yeah.
But sight casting reds is the best, I think.
Yeah.
That's a full day experience because you're targeting them, you're hunting them, and then you get on them and you see them bite.
I think that would be a good trip for that camping
Yes. 100%.
in that area.
The whaler can
All
get
those
pretty skinny,
pods.
huh?
Yeah, it should be able to get into a lot of the areas.
Even
we're at.
that, yeah. I think bringing a kayak is
Yep.
worthwhile there because
That would be fun.
you're close to a lot.
Kayak and then the
Or
whaler
a P
can do
road
other
with
shit.
a little
Yep.
trolling motor. We had that going and it was awesome. And then our fishing rodeo, Richmond brought, he has like a big pirogue type. It's like a boat pirogue. I can't really explain it. It's like one of the only ones I've
It's
seen.
got a flat back.
Yeah, it's got a
Yes.
flat back and it's pretty wide. And we put it on that, and we were like, I was messing around with it earlier. I was like driving, and I was like, this thing is so awesome. I was like, we're taking this duck hunting
Yep.
all year. Driving out to the spot, he it was during the fishing rodeo. So I'm driving him out to a spot. He started late. And we turned around right before we get to where I was going to drop him off, and the trolling motor fell off.
No shit.
Fell off of the P-road, gone forever.
Yeah, we
sank?
went back and
Yeah,
it's gone.
sank. Yeah,
No.
It's like, shit.
we dropped him off from a paddle. We were
God
like,
damn it.
good luck. Oh, it
Dude.
sucked.
Sucked.
And then I've just kind of stopped looking for him. I need to find one. Facebook Marketplace. We went and found this one. It was, I think I got it for $25. And we met the guy at this Shell station out in Slidell. And this guy definitely was a drug addict who
Yeah.
just stole it.
Red
I mean,
eyes.
he had no idea like
What
what
it
it
was.
was.
Yeah.
It was. I was like, oh Jesus. Thank God we met at like a popular gas station though,
Yeah.
because it would have been a little nerve wracking.
He also struck you a deal.
Yeah, he
25
struck
bucks.
yeah, it was a
He didn't know what he
awesome
had.
deal. It was like a small, perfect trolling motor. I mean, it was awesome. Fucking Richmond's P Rogue lost it.
That's a bummer.
We probably shouldn't have just been driving with it on, though.
Yeah, we should have pulled it in.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You live and you learn. You live and you learn. But I guess that's about it. I could ramble for hours. But Boil Boss. Go buy one. BoilBoss.com.
TheBoilBoss.com.
TheBoilBoss.com. It really is an incredible product. I don't know how you can boil without it.
Or Mardi Gras party. Get it with the recipe.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
we should definitely get together and do a boil over Mardi Gras. That'd be a lot of fun. We should definitely set that up. And then
Boil Boss Sportsman's Paradise podcast collab.
Should do it.
yeah, we can definitely do
Tell
it.
your dad we'll do another boil off mustard versus
mustard
normal.
versus-
Mustard
you can
versus
bring
mayo.
The new thing.
Yeah.
and show off.
I'd say
Yeah, I think it's
people
awesome.
check out the site. We got I think we mentioned earlier new products.
Mhm.
So Miles and I's direction, and I think what we look at is developing new products that solve problems. And so I think there's some other pain points in this area, and we have some cool ideas to solve it. So
Cool.
Yes. Get that in the paddle. And then also look out on the website for the recipe. And then we'll
Yes.
probably post it for them as well and send them on over to y'all's way.
Yes.
nice, appreciate it.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Thank
Tie
you, dudes.
lines.
Tight lines. Thank you.